Dude, what the heck was up with the Wii U?
Imagine for a second that the year is 2012 and you are a multi-billion-dollar video game company called Nintendo. Over the past 8 years, you have had the world in the palm of your hand. The Nintendo DS and Wii were tremendous successes. You were able to capture the casual gaming market like no other console had ever done before. And because of that, the DS and Wii became two of the best-selling video game consoles of all time. But the excitement is dying down. The motion control fad is no longer interesting the casual fans, and the Wii's power, or rather lack thereof, was becoming more and more apparent to hardcore gamers every day as technical and graphical feasts of video games were coming out for your competitors' consoles. Not to mention, this was also around the time that Apple and its products were becoming a juggernaut in our society. The iPhone had become part of our mainstream culture, and the massive mobile gaming market that came from that was now a competitor to your handheld business. All of the pressure was on you, Nintendo, and the whole world was watching to see what your next move would be. So, what do? Well, for the next 4 years straight, you stumble, and you flounder, and you fumble, and you fail, while making some of the worst decisions of your entire life, and at the end of it all, you're in financial ruin.
I think I just described college.
The Wii U was Nintendo's 8th generation console, and it is one of the company's greatest failures. Which is interesting because the Wii U came out between two of Nintendo's greatest successes. It was the console that followed the Nintendo Wii and preceded the Nintendo Switch. Both of those consoles sold over 100 million units, which is insane, but the Wii U barely sold 13 million. It's the lowest selling Nintendo console to date. Well, if you don't include the Virtual Boy, but we don't talk about the Virtual Boy. There are a lot of factors that led to the Wii U's poor sales, but I believe there are 3 main reasons. Reason number 1, the name Wii U is dumb and stupid. Now, on paper, I don't think the name Wii U is the worst thing in the world, and it definitely could have done well. I mean, this is coming from the same company that made the Wii and the Switch household names. But in practice, the name Wii U was the console's biggest mistake right out of the gate. To show you what I mean, allow me to take you through an average day in the life of 10-year-old Colin. He wants to play Wii Sports. He's not sure why he owns 2 of the exact same thing, but this probably won't be a recurring problem throughout his life. He boots up the Nintendo Wii, puts fresh batteries in his Wiimotes, and he and his sister have a great time playing Wii Sports. She kicks his butt in Wii Sports tennis and bowling, but that's fine because he knows that she stands no chance in Mario Kart Wii. He goes downstairs and finds his Wii wheels in the same basket as his Wii nunchucks, Wii Motion Pluses, Wii U Gamepads, and other Wiimotes. Then he looks over to his game shelf and sees Wii Play and Wii Fit, and thinks, oh, Wii Fit is fun. Maybe after Mario Kart Wii, I can pull the Wii balance board out of my closet and do some of that. Okay, I think you get the picture. The 2 main points here are 1, I am really good at yoga, and 2, almost every accessory for the Wii and so many of its major games were called Wii blank. I mean, you probably didn't even think twice when I listed the Wii U Gamepad next to all the other Wii accessories a second ago. Because of this, when the general audience caught wind of the Wii U, they didn't realize it was an entirely new console. They likely thought, is Nintendo really selling a $300 tablet accessory for the Wii? You would have to be a total moron to buy one of those.
Ah ha ha ha. I bought 2.
So this would become a recurring problem in his life. Reason number 2 the Wii U failed. The gamepad gimmick was never fully taken advantage of. We all know the gimmick of the Wii. You want to swing your tennis racket in Wii Sports? You gotta waggle that shit. You want to do a spin attack in Super Mario Galaxy? You gotta waggle that shit. You want to swing your sword in Zelda Skyward Sword? You gotta waggle that shit. Motion controls were absolutely a gimmick, but it was a gimmick that was integral to the Wii's identity. Now, what do we do with the Wii U Gamepad? Yeah, Nintendo and other game developers didn't really know what to do with this thing. Some games utilized the gamepad's touchscreen. The best case of this was likely in Super Mario Maker, where you could create your own Super Mario levels on the gamepad, while other games had the second screen display a map or the inventory. Like, this stuff is neat, but there's nothing going on here that the DS couldn't do. The Wii U gamepad was so non-integral to most of the console's titles that like 90% of the Wii U's major games have been ported or received sequels on the Nintendo Switch. And this is great. The Wii U had some terrific games and they deserve a shot to sell well on a console with an actual player base. But this all comes back to how very few of those games utilize the gamepad in unique ways that justified buying a Wii U. The closest we ever got to this was with one of the console's launch titles, Nintendo Land. This was a collection of mini-games that introduced players to the gamepad and how the multi-screen display could be used to make fun experiences. The most notable games in this package were the ones that implemented asymmetrical multiplayer. This is when the players on the gamepad see and play the game differently than those playing on the TV. Mario Chase, for example, is one of the best uses of the gamepad on the entire console. The players on the TV are Toads, and they have to chase down and tackle the player on the gamepad, who is Mario. The Toads chasing Mario have a camera angle behind them that looks out into the arena, and the Mario on the gamepad has an overhead view as well as a mini-map that helps them outrun the Toads in pursuit.
The most interesting use of the gamepad on the entire console is to play tag a little bit differently.
Reason number 3 why the Wii U failed. Just buy a gosh darn 3DS, man. People think that the Wii U's greatest competition was the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. No, it was the Nintendo 3DS. If you were a casual gamer with a real hankering to play some Mario Kart and Smash Bros, are you gonna spend the over $400 to have that experience on the Wii U? Or half that amount for nearly the same experience on the 3DS? The 3DS was what kept Nintendo afloat during this era, and it proved that people still had a great interest in Nintendo's games. The 3DS was clearly the better product. It was more affordable, more accessible, and had a great lineup of games. The Wii U simply couldn't keep up.
Of course, there are several other issues with the Wii U, like the lack of a price cut, the abysmal advertising, and the slow launch here, but what we've discussed so far are the 3 big reasons I would say that the Wii U failed. And it might seem weird after discussing all of the console's negatives to say that I don't know if I can consider it 100% a failure. Now don't get me wrong, if we're talking financially, no doy this thing was a stinker. It's estimated that on the low end, the Wii U lost Nintendo $800 million, but Nintendo learned their lesson, and they made some major corrections with their next console, the Nintendo Switch.
Plus, the Wii U had a fantastic lineup of games. If you don't believe me, consider that your favorite Nintendo Switch game is probably just a reworked or re-released Wii U game. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was originally supposed to be the big Zelda title for the Wii U, but it took so long to develop that Nintendo just made it the Switch's launch title as well. Splatoon 2 and 3 have established Splatoon as one of Nintendo's modern flagship franchises, but the series got its start on the Wii U. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is built from the bones of Smash for Wii U. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is a port of a Wii U game and one of the best platformers of all time with fresh and organic level design. Similarly, Super Mario 3D World is a tremendously fun time that is a masterclass in level design. And Pikmin 3, oh my gosh, I don't have the hours I need to gush over this game properly right now, but just know the Pikmin franchise is one of my favorites. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the 6th best-selling video game of all time. Up there alongside Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Tetris, is a Wii U game. Granted, roughly 90% of those sales came from the Switch port, but it was still technically a Wii U game first. And its tremendous sales are indicative of how great a Mario Kart game this is. The Nintendo Switch wouldn't be as successful of a console as it is if the Wii U hadn't failed. The Wii U forced Nintendo to reevaluate and come up with a gimmick that wasn't just functional, but practical. The Nintendo Switch's gimmick of being a handheld home console hybrid is enough of an appealing gimmick that doesn't need to be crammed into every experience. This allowed Nintendo to focus on what really sells a Nintendo console, Nintendo games.
I think the lesson we can all learn from the Wii U is that we all make mistakes. There's going to be some point in your life that you're at your lowest point, and people might consider you to be down and out because of that. I mean, we all wake up in our backyards in nothing but our underwear after a long night of colleging it up. That's just life. But what's important is that we learn from our mistakes and we grow from them. And if you happen to sell a video game about a go-kart and plumber and it doesn't sell well the first time around, just sell it again. It'll probably make you a few $1 billion the second go around.